Hello, welcome back. I know it's been a while. I know it's been a long time. YouTube was giving me some problems, but now that I'm older, I can actually do what I want to do. We're in the forging area today. We're gonna get after it. I'm gonna be making a hook, an old style blacksmith style hook here. Had this idea for a little bit, so I just kind of want to try it out here, get back in the groove of things, filming and whatnot. It's at least been 2 years from the last time I posted. And like I said, now that I'm older, I can actually film the things I want, not be called out for child endangerment and almost having my account suspended. So we can make knives, all the fun stuff we want. Knives, hooks, other tools and means. Probably be doing some more welding on here too, welding projects. Gotten into that last few years. And I just all around general things. Maybe if I got a project I need to repair, I'll show that. Really just trying to just have fun here, be relaxed with it and show what I do again. Hopefully the second time around is going to go a lot more smooth than the first time. Now that I'm more older and wise, I guess. But back to what we're doing. Today we're going to be making a blacksmith style hook. Like a chain hook. Let me find one over here. So like the hooks that go on the end of log chain, that obviously hook on the log chain. Apparently I don't have one. All right. But I was going to be making one of those. It's a hook. It's a heavy hook made out of heavy steel with an eyelet at the end of it to be able to hook chain or whatnot to, forge weld chain to. So first thing is we're going to cut some steel. We're going to be using this 5/8 round. What it is, I don't know. It's 5/8 round. And I'm going to figure out a section to cut out of it. We'll start with like an 8-inch section. Yeah, we'll do that. Just so I know I have more than enough to work with. Yeah, that seems good. We'll cut off an 8-inch section in the bandsaw. Then I'll be back right at the forge here. All right, so now we're over at the bandsaw. We're going to cut this a nice 90 here. And one of my new fun toys that I got. Facebook Marketplace has a lot of great deals if you just look. So I've learned. Check tension in it. Check that we're nice and aligned. We are. Turn it on. And let it do its thing. Basically, the bandsaw is going to allow me to have a nice straight cut. I don't have sparks flying anywhere, making more of a mess than I have to. And it's quiet. It's nice and quiet. I like that. I like that a lot. You don't have to fire up an angle grinder or anything. And the best part about this is you can cut as big a piece as you want. And when it gets done, it automatically turns itself off. Which is amazing. Sometimes you forget about it, but just like that, turns itself off, hits the kill switch, and you got to find your piece. All right. And now I'll meet you back over at the forge. All right. Now that we got the steel cut, I'm going to fire up the forge, put this in the forge, then fire it up. And then we'll play the game of waiting for it to heat up. But first thing I'm going to do is when I take it out, when it's hot, I'm going to put it to a taper. I'm going to make it square, and I'm going to taper it. So basically, I'm going to take this round piece, I'm going to make it a square piece. Do everything square stock? Yes, I do. I'm going to make it square, like this piece. Then I'm going to bring it to a point while it's still square. I'm going to taper it down, so that means. I'm going to do that to that round piece. And then go from there. This is my first time. I don't know what I'm doing. You're coming along the ride with me. All right, so we're gonna get the forge fired up. Crank the gas on. All right, we'll let that warm up, then I'll be right back with you. All right, the piece of steel is nice and heated. The mystery steel, still don't know what it is. But I'm gonna make the end square. Then I'm gonna make at least 3/4 of it square, the whole piece of stock, just to give me something to work with. Like I said, I still don't know what I'm doing. My first time doing this. I'm just kind of having fun. But it looks like it's heated, and we're just gonna start hammering on it. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of make this square, hammer it down here. Flip it over, do the same thing to this side until we start seeing some nice crisp corners on here. I'll make it square, then I'll start trying to taper it down. Nice controlled swings, you don't need anything too heavy or anything. Not like I'm beating out a solid inch chunk of steel into something. I have more control doing it this way. Only using a 1.5 pound hammer, nothing too extreme. All right. That's looking pretty good. Yeah. Kind of straighten it out. All right, cool. We're gonna pop it back in the forge and let it heat up again. Take it out. All right, I'm gonna work back on just a little bit more. Just give me some more of that shape I'm looking for here. Just like that. There we go. Alrighty. Make sure it's all even. Square it up a little bit more. Make sure it's straight. It's straight. Alright, now we're going to start tapering it. So I'm going to start on one end, smacking it down, flipping it over, smacking this end down, cooling off pretty quickly here. But just smacking each end down. All right, starting to take shape. When I seen it done, it was done with a way bigger chunk of steel, a 6 pound chunk of steel. So I don't know how it's going to turn out proportionally, if it's going to be look goofy or it's actually going to be good. But I guess we'll find out. All right, take it out of the forge. Start tapering this end. We're going to go with the longer taper on it to give it more of the look I want. Gotta start hammering this stuff down quick because it's only going to cool off from here. All right. Go get rid of this bulge right here. All right. Keep forging this taper down, square everything up again. Now working from this side, trying to get an even taper to it. Now this side. Now the piece is somewhat cold. We'll straighten it out again before putting it back in. Why I do that, I don't know. Looks pretty straight. All right. See what I got going on there? That taper, where it's still square, it still comes up. Kind of like a big old square nail is what I'm going at here. Then we'll turn at an angle. Then we will do the curling of it to make the hook. After I finish squaring some of this up and clean some of these edges up a bit more. Alrighty, the piece is all nice and hot. We're gonna finish squaring in these edges with the hydraulic press. This saves me a lot of effort too. Pushing this piece down, making it even more square than it already was. Saving my arms in the process. All right, back over to the anvil. Make sure everything's straight. We don't have any big weird divots or anything from the hydraulic press. So it tends to do that sometimes. Straighten everything back out again. Then we'll put it back in the forge, and then we'll go for a second run of the hydraulic press once it heats up again. All right. Square up this tip a little bit. Did get a bit messed up in the hydraulic press. Now we're going to take it over to the hydraulic press. Squish it down just a little bit more. Check it. Squish that down a bit more. Check it again. Heck yeah, looks pretty good. All right. Now we're going to square up this taper just a little bit. All right, everything's looking pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go put it back in the forge, do some work off camera, kind of tighten everything up. Then I'll come back to you when the fun part begins. All right, so now we're gonna try to make the eyelet of this. So we're gonna kind of find where my square stops. And we're just gonna mark it off right here, I guess. Create a shoulder, is what it's gonna be. All right, there's our shoulder. Then we're gonna come right here and give it a nice hit. All right, we'll get the hot cut out. Put the hot cut in, kind of far where I marked that at. Then we'll smack it till it gets cut. It's been a while since I used the hot cut last. A few more. We want it to go flying across the shop. Been there, done that. Twist it off, throw that in the water bucket. Remove the hot cut. Pull that off. Put it back. All right, here's what we're left with. This chunk of whatever you want to call it. So what I'm going to work on next is the eyelet here. I'm going to try to flatten this out, kind of make this more circular-ish. Then so I'm going to try to make that more circular. Probably can't see that, can you? Then I'm just going to punch a hole in the center of it. And I'm going to take that around the anvil, and I'm going to try to widen that hole a little bit. So I think that's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to let it heat up again. All right, pull this out of the forge. Make sure we get a good grip on it so we don't lose it. Now we're going to try to flatten this shoulder piece out here. So we're just going to do what I do best. All right. So we got the shoulder all hammered out. Oh, I just realized I wanted to bend it this way, so that's in the wrong direction. Shoot. Oh, Forgot about that. Instead of bending the hook this way, I want to put it on its side and have this corner bent. So this flat is in the wrong area. All right. This is a great way to fix this. Then we're just going to cut that off and restart because I wasn't thinking, obviously. Gosh dang it. Take the hot cut out again. Square up this corner. Now we're going to put it back in the forge. But before we do that, I forgot. We're going to create that same shoulder, but we're going to do it like this. We're going to stand it up on its corner and do it. So when I bend the hook, it'll be in correct direction with it. And possibly when I do that, it'll make the hook look a bit more in proportion because I think it was a bit long. I won't know till I'm done though. All right, pull it back out. Now we're gonna do what I was talking about. We're gonna put it up on its edge here. Yeah, sure, right there. I'm gonna give it a nice little smack. Kind of set that shoulder in. All right, come back, look at it. Hammer it down a little bit more. Put it back on that edge. All right, that's kind of what I'm looking for right there. That looks pretty good. Not very square. Ah, jeez. It's a blacksmith's touch, it'll be fine. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna heat it up again. Actually before I put it back in, I'm gonna kind of find center of that and I'm gonna put a hole there. Or kind of like a center punch there, I guess. Just so I kind of know where I want to punch my hole at. If you can see that little dimple in there, that's where I'm going to send a punch through. We're going to send a punch through that. Then I'll put it over the horn of the anvil. And we're going to round it out. That's what the plan's going to be. We'll get that done, cool that end off, and then we'll try to bend this hook somehow without messing these nice corners up. How it's going to happen, I don't know. Alrighty, take it out of the forge. I'm going to try punching this hole here. To let you know now, my hole punching skills aren't too honed in yet. So what you see is what you're going to get. That's not half bad. Take it out, cool it off. Now we're going to send it back through this side. Just like so. Cool it off. Now we're going to put this back in the forge. But here's what I want to talk to you about. Make sure you gotta cool your tools off. Because right here is a good example of what will happen. That tip will get hot and it'll kind of just fold over like that, I guess. That was kind of sharp, which probably wasn't good for punching. Because you kind of want them a bit, excuse me, you kind of want them a bit dull so it doesn't do that. But now that we got the initial hole started, which is, I think, is kind of the hard part, I'm going to take my fancy tool. Bring it back out. Lay it up on there. We're going to try to send this punch all the way through it, hopefully. Nope. Alright, that punch is now hot. I was waiting for that. Alright. Move that out of the way. Don't need that anymore. Knock the punch out. That's looking pretty decent. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Take this punch, put it in the water. Put this back in the forge here. All right, take it back out of the forge. Put it back over a fancy tool before it cools off way too much here. Drop the tongs. Make that hole even wider. Put it back over this one. That's what I like to see. Now, I can't get too happy with it while it's cold because I might break it. I don't want to do that, so I'll just mess up the whole thing. And then all the work we just put in would kind of be pointless. I could arc weld it back together, but it wouldn't be as strong as it is right now. I'm trying to get this all in one go, kind of traditional blacksmith technique here, whatever you want to call it. But this tool is one I made. I drilled holes in it so I could punch different sizes. So if I get too small, if someone's trying to punch through here, it'll just fall through that hole and it'll kind of deform it. This, I can kind of control that by having small, medium, and large holes. Also, it fits different punch sizes too. So it kind of helps with my pieces and whatnot. This is probably the tool I use maybe the most, along with the hot cut, which is for cutting metal hot. Those are like the two tools I use the most. I've got a whole top here and like 2 or 3 drawers full of tools too. Just whatever makes it easier, repetition, making hooks and whatnot too. You know, it's just kind of easier to keep tools and jigs around to help with that. Now we're going to take this out of the forge here, and we're going to send this punch through it one more time. Not bust through it. All right, hold it with the hammer so you don't drop it. Get it over the edge. Slam to the floor because you don't need it. Now, that should be a good size to fit over here. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if you can see over here or not. Might do it on this anvil, it's a bit better. Put it on there. Then we'll slowly hammer it out. It's going to make that hole a bit wider. And won't have to rely on punches as much. I can get a bit more movement in with it. Kind of really fine tune this hook in how I want it. All right, take it out of the forge, bring it over to this anvil. And we're going to widen this. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. Take it back over here to an edge. Kind of flatten it down a little bit. Oh heck yeah. Shoot. Use the end of the hammer there so I'm not marring up this area too much. Let's hit it one more time over here. Kind of. That's a bit better. All right. Shoot, I think it's about time we see if we can't bend it up into the hook shape here. This is going to be quite challenging because I've never done this, which is half the fun. But basically, I'm going to find a way, maybe clamp this piece some way or how. I'm just going to take it, either hammer or bend it up to form that hook. Still don't know how I'm going to do this yet, but I'll be back with you on that. Oh yeah, that's so woodworker of me. I need more of those tiny nails. Maybe not. All right, so basically I'm trying to make the jig right now. I'm gonna bend this. Might be wondering why I'm making it out of wood. And that is because I don't want to mess up those corners on there. If I was to do this in a metal piece, I could do it in this all day if I didn't want to mess up those edges, those crisp corners I put in there because of the way we're bending it. If we were to bend it just flat normally, if we were to do it like this and just bend it down, it'd be fine. But I want to do it like this, up on its edge. If I was to do that and pound on it while it's hot, it would deform these crisp edges. I didn't want to do that. So I'm making this tool here to hopefully eliminate that. This is a big nail. Holy crap. Heck yeah. We're going to sink a few more in here just because. Oh, it split it. No. I can hear so many people tell me they should have pre-drilled it. That one split too. Heck yeah. Alrighty. I don't need that. Okay. So, the plan is to put that in there, put this, and then kind of do that with it. Where did I throw that piece of steel at? I got this piece of steel. Kind of put it in there like that. Set this kind of on it, hopefully, and then bend it. Yeah. Yeah. Let it heat up a bit more. See, I think you're just going to kind of hold it over in here on that flat part. I'm just going to kind of hammer it down in there. Take it out of the forge. Ah, that's hot. Hand it off to the helper. These are the wrong pair of tongs for this. All right. So we're going to take it out of the forge now. Hand it over to the helper. Just going to squeeze that. Yep. All right. Bring it back a little bit more. All right. We're just going to give it a few little. Huh. That's funny. All right. I'll put this back in the forge and we'll figure out what to do with it. All right. So we're back with a new idea. We're going to use a bigger chunk of board. Hopefully this works. We did get the bend started though. All right, just hold it same spot as last time. Make sure you get a good grip on it. Because who knows what's going to happen now. All right, move back a little bit further. Beautiful right there. Okay. Okay. This is horrible. Alrighty. It's got a weird curve to it. This is so amateur blacksmith of me. I don't know what I'm doing now. I can't use the hammer on this because I'll deface all this work I just put into this. So I'm kind of, oh dang it! All right. Alrighty. So I got the wooden mallet out. I'm just gonna try to beat it over this. I guess I don't. Oh, this is horrible. What? I guess. No. that might be it. It looks weird, but it might be it. Jeez. It's a lot of smoke. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. That's all right. We're gonna put it back in the forge. I'm gonna do some thinking. It's kind of looking the way I want to, but something's off about it. Alrighty. Yeah. So that happened. We're gonna take this. See if we can't bend this up a little bit, kind of make it look less weird, maybe. Bend that over. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It don't look too good either. Oh shoot. Alright, let's wire brush it real quick. Removes all the loose mill scale and whatnot. I mean, for a hook, that don't look half bad. That don't look half bad whatsoever. Alright. We'll put it back in the forge, do a few more things to tweak it off camera real quick. Okay. Glass is back on. And we're going to straighten this out just a little bit more. I said a little bit more. I said a little. Ah, shoot. All right, that looks pretty good. All right. So, I mean, it's starting to take a form of a hook. It doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too good. The thickness of it doesn't quite match up what the eyelet is, how thin that is. But for my first hook, I don't think it looks half bad. We're going to wire brush it one more time. We're going to dip it in the water. And then we'll take a good look at it here. Awesome. Love the sizzling in the water. Just that's the sound of a good project right there. All right. All right. I think we're almost done. I think I am done. I don't know. That looks pretty hookish to me. Would I use that to maybe lift up 20 pounds? Yeah, over that? No. But here it is compared to my hand. I mean, that's pretty yeah, it's pretty good looking. Nice size eyelet. Maybe could have made it smaller and a little bit thicker. I think that's what I would have done differently. Maybe a little bit longer neck too. I'm not too sure about that though. I'm still kind of I don't know. Looks pretty hook wise. I didn't get that very centered though. You see what I'm talking about? Didn't get that very centered, but that's no big deal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to file some of these corners down just to make me feel a bit better about handling. That harden itself? Is this even a sharp file? I don't know what steel this is, but it might have hardened itself. I don't think it is though. This might have hardened itself. Oh. I mean, my file ain't sticking to it. Let me go get a good file. Alrighty. So I think I got a good file. That's definitely not hard. That's knife material right there. That's not a good file. You see how easily this file just dug into that. A little shiny bit right there. But otherwise, finish a few of these corners off here. I think it's a pretty successful project, you know, getting back into the swing of things. Hopefully start making a few more videos here and there just to maybe get the word out. Post a YouTube short or two. And yeah, just really test the waters again. I know I had a lot of people looking forward to videos and whatnot before, but hopefully this is going to be a change for the good. That's looking pretty good. But this being the first video, I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks so much. If you stuck around this long, you know, me being absent 2 years kind of makes you wonder, I bet. But I'm still here. We're going to be doing hopefully some new things, some better things, some more entertaining things. Like I said, maybe we'll even turn that file down there on the ground into a knife. I don't know what we're going to do. For all I know, we could be building mud mowers and racing mowers. I don't know. Really, I just don't want to focus on blacksmithing. I kind of want to just the modern blacksmith, I guess. Welding too is kind of incorporated in that. Maybe some welding projects, simple welding projects you guys could do at home. I make little decorative things, flowers and whatnot, and nuts and bolting get the hardware store. You know, just little maybe how-tos and not make them too confusing or too long. But I think this is a good first video. I don't know about you, but it's been a while since I did this. Just had fun, you know, not making orders, just kind of tinkering around again. But thanks for watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And guess I'll catch you on the next one.